Alrighty, so it is no longer wintertime, and I know I am not the only one that has a Blackstone that looks like this. What happened? It's not just a Florida thing. Obviously, I've seen so many people that have videos that look just like this, where their Blackstone got all rusted, but it's okay. We're going to go ahead and take care of this today. We're going to go ahead and sand it all down, get all this rust off of here, and then we're going to be re-seasoning it. So I hope this is helpful. And then afterwards, we're going to go ahead and make some smash burgers on the griddle. I'm going to share that recipe with you, and then we're going to clean it all again, but it will no longer be rusty. It'll be seasoned. So then you will see that how easy it is to clean after we get all this rust taken care of. So yeah, why does this have to happen? I also have a solution to this, so make sure you guys stick around and I will share that with you as well. So tight, I'll keep waiting for the perfect moment when you're dancing like that. So I am just using some Dawn Power Wash. You can literally use Dawn or any cleaner you have. You could even try some like Barkeeper's Friend. Like I said, any cleaner really, just to kind of get this as much rust, I guess, residue off as you can before you start sanding your griddle or using the little stainless brush. I do also know if you don't want to spray your griddle on the stand, you can take the griddle off. I have seen them taken off. I don't know that ours came off. It really didn't bother us to clean it on top. It's an outdoor product. It doesn't hurt it to get wet. So we just went ahead, left it on its stand. It was much easier than sitting it on the ground and having to like bend over and scrub and do all the work from the ground. Alrighty, so we got it all scrubbed down with the soap and water. As you can see, it actually helped a lot. I know it doesn't look good right now. I promise you it will look better once we get it all done, but this is very similar to like kind of the restoration of like a cast iron pan or, you know, dish. So we're going to go ahead and sand it down, try to get the rest of this rust off, and it'll basically probably take all this black off, and it'll basically be a silver plate, I guess, if you will. And then we'll go ahead and get it re-seasoned after we get all the rest of this rust off. Okay, so you can use a variety of tools to clean this up. I'm just going to use my orbital sander with some 60 grit. Typically, I would use Craftsman since it goes with the Craftsman, but you know what? This was cheaper and Lowe's was out of the Craftsman one. So we went with 60 grit sandpaper. That's what I'm going to use. But if you don't have something like this available to you, you could always use like a steel brush. You can use one like this, or there's also one that's like a flat brush that has like the steel pieces kind of sticking out the sides, I guess. It's flat instead of pointed around like that. So if you have a drill and you'd rather use the stainless brush, you could definitely do that. But like I said, today we're going to go ahead and just use the sandpaper with the orbital sander and go from there. We'd be unshakable. You and me with it so fine. Just tell me how to make you mine, girl. We'd be unbreakable. We'll get past Sunday morning. There's a future for us that's dawning. Now, if you guys are going to do this, definitely please wear your proper protection. Now, I recommend wearing a mask and definitely wearing some eyewear. I did have my glasses on this day, but I was not wearing a mask. And although we are outside, because you definitely want to do this outside, please do not do this inside of an enclosed area. But we were outside, the wind was blowing pretty good, and the little pieces were just kind of like building up, and I could definitely feel that I was breathing some of that in. So I highly recommend, if you are going to do this, to definitely just protect yourself properly, wear the eyewear, make sure you have a mask and all that, because it is not, you do not want to breathe this in, it is not safe. But anyway, so I got as much as I could off with the sandpaper. We went ahead and gave it a rinse, and then my husband went through with the little steel brush and kind of went through and sanded it down. Ground it? I don't know. But he went ahead and hit the edges with the little steel brush. Now you can use like the little stainless pads to scrub this down as well if you don't have the tools, kind of like you would maybe your cast iron pans when they get all rusted.
I look out across the water, I smell the salt, I feel the breeze, but in my heart I hear the calling.
Okay, so we're all done sanding. We got all the rust off, got it all cleaned up and everything, and we picked up the Blackstone Griddle seasoning and cast iron conditioner here. This was just 10 bucks at Lowe's. I think it's like $9 on Amazon, so but I'll link that for you guys if you guys are interested. But we're just gonna put this on there. It says that you can won't focus. Oh well, it says that you can put it on up to 3, or it says 3 to 5 times, a minimum of 3 times. So you basically just apply this, let it smoke off, reapply it, let it smoke off, reapply it, and let it smoke off, and then it should be ready to cook on. So let's see what happens.
Tennessee, we don't know where these rivers flow, why the wind chooses when and where to blow. The sun is gonna rise each and every time, but I've still got Tennessee on my.
Okay, so while this is still smoking off, I'm going to show you some of the tools that we recently purchased and some things that we already had. So some of the things we already had, we actually have another one of these. Is dirty. So it's actually sitting on our other grill because we have a regular grill as well, but we have 2 of these. These are really good to like chop up some meat and stuff like that. We have the liners to catch the grease, but I'm gonna tell you what, I really want to get some of like the silicone liners. I think that would be a much better deal than then you just wipe it out, rinse it out, whatever, and put it back in. It's reusable. And then we picked up some scouring pads to go on the little scrubber doohickey here. It just scrubs and then scrapes whatever you need it to clean it up. And then you also have this scraper as well. If I remember correctly, I think this scraper came in a kit with these like longer utensils. So but our new stuff here, let's see here, so I did pick up some of the seasoning, the griddle seasoning. I did pick up a silicone mat. If you guys didn't see that haul, definitely check out my Instagram at @bean_Mrs. Fraser. I do some Amazon hauls and stuff like that over there. I think that's kind of fun to share those things. And then that's where this came from, is a mat that you cut down. So once we get to the griddle all nice and seasoned, we will cut this down and I'll kind of show you guys how this works. But like I said, I got that off Amazon. Most everything else came from Lowe's. Definitely check around though, price wise, because I don't think Lowe's is the cheapest all the time. So definitely check Amazon and anything else like that. I also got this little tool combo. It's got the little magnets that you can put on the griddle to hold all your tools. There are 3 magnets. We'll probably need to pick up some more magnets, but I might just order a magnet thing off of of Amazon, and then you have like the little grease gate and the other tool thing. So it kind of shows you back here what is going on. So you can put the longer piece here, this longer piece that says Blackstone here, you can put that on the back to help hold up your tools, and then the other piece is to help keep the grease on the griddle, because a lot of times you have, well, especially here because our driveway is kind of slanted, the grease runs, like you put the butter on to melt it and it runs right out the grease trap. So this will trap the butter and all the grease and everything else to keep it actually on the griddle so you can cook. And then there, it gives you a little bit of an idea of how the magnets are used with the tools there. So, and then I also picked up the basting cover or basting cover. This one is just the medium sized one, but this one should fit perfectly over, like if you're cooking some vegetables, you can cook them up under here, so that way you can like squirt some water around it and then it'll steam up in there and steam your vegetables. Or if you're like wanting to melt cheese on your burger or your sandwich or whatever you're cooking, you could just throw this on top of it and it'll help melt that cheese. And then I also picked up this big old griddle scoop. This guy is huge if you can compare it to my hand here, but this would be really good if you're doing like a like rice on the grill, like a, I can't think of what I'm looking for, the word, Mongolian type griddle situation with rice and your like if you do chicken fried rice or something like that, you know what I mean, or fried rice in general. This would be a good scoop just to like scoop up that rice and put it onto your plate. It's much easier to have this scoop as opposed to trying to do it like I've been doing it with these little guys here. So this will be much easier to use. I should be telling you guys the prices. I think this was like $30, like $29.99. This one might be about $29.99 as well. I honestly don't remember how much this is. I'll try to leave them on the screen, and I will link everything for you guys if you guys are interested in that. I also picked up the taco rack. Your girl loves tacos, so I thought this would be fun, you know, to help warm up your tortillas and then build your tacos on the griddle so everything stays nice and warm. And then we did pick up the knife set. I am in the process of working out the knives that I had, because they're like the Cuisinart brand or something, like a rainbow Cuisinart I think is what it is, and the paint is like peeling off of the blade, so I need to replace my knives. And so we found this Blackstone knife set. I'm hoping that they're good. I don't really know anything about it. I'm sure they are. But yeah, they're just a German stainless steel, and then they come with a nice little cover. So these are about the size knives that I use on a regular basis, so I thought it would be a good deal. And then we picked up some more griddle bottles because our last ones got a little too close to the flame and melted. So if you don't know, if you don't have a griddle, these help. So as you're cooking, if you need to clean the griddle off, you can just squirt this on with some water, and then you just use your little scraper here and it scrapes right off. So if you guys have ever been to like a Mongolian grill or Hoo Hot or anything like that, you see them, they'll cook their rice, the noodles, whatever they're cooking on the griddle, and then when they're all done, they remove what they can, and then what's like stuck on the griddle, they'll just squirt water on there and it scrapes right off. So that's what those are for. But let's get another coat on here. This is darkening up really nicely, but we only have 2 coats on, so I do want to get at least one more of that of the griddle seasoning on there.
From Reapers Ford to Watertown, and maybe.
So I realized that I forgot to show you guys these tongs. They are also a Blackstone griddle tong. I like that they have a really long handle. It makes it nice to be able to grab things off and move things around while you're cooking, and preventing yourself from getting burnt with that long handle. I also forgot to show you the seasoning that I got. It is just like I think it's a bootleg burger or something like that seasoning. I thought it looked good. Blackstone does have a ton of griddle seasonings. Now you can totally use whatever seasoning your heart desires, but I saw it and I thought it would be fun to try, so I will definitely make sure that I give you guys an update on how that tastes. If you want to check out my Instagram, I'll probably update over there.
I'll miss the smoke.
So for the mat, I did go ahead and measure it up against our griddle. Now we have a 30-inch griddle, but I think there's like an 18, 22, 30, and 33 or 36. There might even be bigger or smaller. I'm not 100% sure those sizes are even correct, you guys, but I know that our griddle is a 30-inch griddle, and I could not find a silicone sheet at all to match that size griddle, so I had to cut mine down, but that's okay because that is what this particular, like the lines that you see on there are for. Alrighty, so I think it is ready. We did end up doing 4 coats. Now, if you had a torch, you could definitely go around and get these edges. It is still super hot, guys, so we're gonna let it cool down, but you could definitely go around and get the edges with the torch if you had one, if you wanted to make it completely solid. But eventually that the edges and everything will get seasoned all together like the middle. Obviously the middle is just where the burners tend to heat up the most, but I think she's ready to go, ready to grill for the rest of the summer. I did want to go ahead and show you too how these little tools worked for the grease cover and your spatula. I don't know that I'll technically use them, but whatever. They came in the package with the magnets, and I love the magnets. So anyway, you could totally get cheaper magnets. They don't have to be the Blackstone ones, but I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an idea. But let me go ahead and show you again, give you a reminder of what the griddle looked like before, and then I will give you an after. I hope this was helpful for those of you that have your Blackstone griddles or any griddles that you may have. Anyway, I hope you guys will subscribe, and I hope you stay happy, healthy, and safe, and we will see you in the next one.